it's a day that you need support, or maybe it's a day that you fell short. It could be a time that you need some strength. Things coming at you and you need a fence. He will be there.
Welcome to Igniting Pathways. Let's talk about how are you doing with separating things in your life. What I mean by that is, do you take the time to filter things that are in your life that you need to separate from? What could that look like? Well, that could look like the thing that's not progressing you to grow. Could be a person, could be something that you're holding on to that you necessarily shouldn't hold on to. Could it be something that is not progressing you to move forward? What does that look like? Probably could be a job that you don't have no idea doing or you shouldn't be doing. Could it be a career that pays well, but you really want to go in a different direction? Could it be advice? It could definitely be advice from people that are not directing you in the right way. Now, when I say separate, does that mean you cut that person off? Does that mean you cut that thing off? Can't mean that. But what I talk about when I'm talking about separating is I'm talking about put it in a box where it doesn't distract you from where you want to go or where you want to lead to. What I'm talking about is there's different concept in separation. What I mean by that is, did you know that there's different ways of separating? So you have the divide, so you may split it up. Do you know you have this thing that they call weaving, which is basically done in gardening, where they kind of filter out and separate, I think basically from the soil between the plants, something in sort of kind of that sort. So that's what I kind of mean. I don't mean for you to completely separate it for good, or I mean cut it off completely, like you should stop talking to certain people or stop taking advice from certain people, because everything is welcomed, but not all things have to be listened to. All thing is welcome, but not all things do I have to follow. See, that's the difference when you are going towards your path. It's knowing what to choose and what to do. You're no longer at the first step that you're at. And we've changed ourselves so we're not there anymore. What we're focusing on is turning our dream into a passion, and our passion, our goal. And we're looking to look forward, and we're looking to go and move forward. Right? If you remember, as I talk, it's about being that riser. It's about setting yourself up where you go to the distance and to the top. And one way of doing that is separating yourself from things that don't progress you to grow. So what does that look like to you? Well, honestly, that's going to be up to you. You know the things in your life you need to separate from, that you need to probably divide into something that doesn't need to be a part. Got to mix it up a little bit. And you probably definitely have to weave out some of these things into your life that's stopping you from progressing forward. See, here at Igniting Pathway, what we do is we teach you, and we want you to learn your best way of going further, right? Pushing yourself to a point where you know exactly where you want to go and where that's going to bring you. So separation, again, you have to master the art of separation. So what does that look like? That looks like if you have a bunch of naysayers that telling you, hey, this won't work, or they're telling you, hey, that you pursuing your own business, or you pursuing your own dreams, or you turning something into passion is not going to work. Well, it's probably best chance you probably need to separate yourself from them coming in contact with you. And when I mean separate, we're going to hang up that phone a little bit sooner, or we're going to change the topic, right? So that's the key thing about separation. It's learning how to change the topic where it doesn't put you down. See, the last thing you want to do is put yourself down in the goals that you want to achieve. So what you have to do is you have to separate. So separation kind of means where you have to take that conversation where it's saying, we're not going to talk about that today. Or you just say, hey, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about something else. Well, what was your purpose of calling me? Is your purpose of calling me to what? we're not going to go along that separate, we're not going to go along that direction. We're going to go towards something that we can mutually agree to talk about, or something that we can mutually say is beneficial for both of us to have a conversation. But we're going to separate my passion, my goals, and you keep putting me down. Or let's take another one, for example. Let's say it's a job. Now, this job is great. It's awesome. I love it. It's good. And you're just flowing with it. It's making ends meet. But probably that's not where you're going because you're too comfortable. Separate ourselves from the comfortability. And what I mean by that, separate yourself from the comfortability, I only mean that in the sense of, if you're trying to go somewhere, don't go comfortable, be uncomfortable. It's kind of being comfortable with the uncomfortable. And simply what that means is not letting anything stop you from achieving your dreams. It's not even the comfortability. See, the comfortability is a safety net for you. It makes you feel, okay, I have something I fall on. Or the tactic that sometimes it plays is, you don't have to get rejected. Or you don't have to feel a sense of failure. Or you don't have to feel like you're not going to accomplish this, because in this comfortable state, I can accomplish anything. I know this realm. I know this angle. I know how to play this angle exactly right. Well, separate yourself from that comfortability a little bit. Let's put comfortability to the side and let's be uncomfortable for a second. Let's prove to ourselves that we can push forward, that we can accomplish this. It's going to take time. And I'm always going to remind you that, again, remember, it's not going to be easy. I'm not sitting here and I'm not one of those coaches or motivational speakers to tell you, oh, it's going to be easy. Oh, we're going to do this. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to really challenge you, and I'm here for you to know that you can do it. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some grinding, and it's going to take some work. But later on, we'll talk about enjoying the process and the sweet joys of the process. But the first thing that you have to learn, or the first thing that you have to do in your life, is separate yourself from things that are not allowing you to achieve or to get there. It's so distracting, and sometimes it can be so annoying at times. And I know it can frustrate you. Like, at times you beat yourself, or you could be beating yourself like, dag, I wish I was doing something I love. Or I wish I could do something that's motivating. But I keep having my friends, my best friends, my family telling me that this ain't going to work out. Or, man, I'm just going to be left stuck. Or I can't achieve this. Or I can't do this. Or, hey, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to look forward to doing this tomorrow. Or I'm going to do this later. But for right now, I know where I'm at. I know how I could do this. And I could achieve well on this, right? I don't have to face any type of naysayers coming my way or any type of rejection coming my way. But here's where I want you to be at. I want you to be at a point where you don't care about those things. Because like I said to you before, when you do something that you love, you don't care what anyone has to say to you. You don't care what anyone is coming your way or coming at you. Because again, you can't argue with me if I'm doing something I love, because technically I don't care, because this is what I love to do. And then the other passionate thing about it is I get to teach somebody it. Always going to refer those back to you. But right now I need to master the art of separation. I need to know how things in my life I can separate that distract me. So another words to look at it is, pretend you're going down a path, right? You're going down a path and there are different things in that path that looks good, right? It looks like you can do. Only thing I could take, right? So let's say you're going down a path, right? And there is one way where you can stop and it'll give you all the money. And you see that and you're like, well, I could stop here for a second. But look at the key word, you're stopping. You don't want to stop. You want to progress forward. So let's say you're going right, and let's say you're doing well. You're doing well and everything looks right and you just want to pause for a second. No, don't pause. So all these things come into your view or your way of this path. And what I mean by separation is you kind of take that in a box. So it's like, if I'm coming and money's there, let me separate this real quick. Let me stop. Let me put this in a bank or put this somewhere because I know it's going to bring me somewhere later. Let me put this over here because I know that over here is going to bring me somewhere later. So that's what I mean. It's putting certain things in different places where you can come back to it, but it doesn't stop you from moving forward. I hope that makes sense. I hope that communicates well to just separating or mastering the art of separating. Because truth and come is we get distracted a lot. Sometimes we come to a point where we're not even focusing on our path no more because a lot of things comes our way and a lot of things challenge us. But the point and the goal we want to do is not let those things challenge us or move us to a place where we get distracted or can't move forward. See, I'm always going to pushing you to be forward, and I'm always going to challenge you to rise. As you're listening to this, and hopefully that you're subscribing to this, you're seeing yourself and getting that motivation every single day that I'm going to push forward. I'm going to learn how to separate different things in my life that are not beneficial, that are not moving me forward or helping me progress. See, it's about keeping that mentality and keeping that focus. It's about honoring that focus too. And it's about having that willingness or that drive to say, I'm going to stay on this path and I'm going to separate from things that's not going to. So how do you master that? How are you going to focus on that? What are things are you going to do so you stay on task so that it doesn't lead you away? Well, one, subscribe and follow. Just kidding. Sorry. But the one thing you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you stay on your path. You're going to make sure that you have that vision. You're going to make sure nothing comes into that vision. So if anything is in part of that vision, I'm going to separate it right now. If it's not a part of it, I'm going to separate it and put it to the side. I'm going to remove it so it's not a part of my path. That doesn't mean I can't entertain it later. Exactly the word I use, entertain it. Everything could be entertainable. But as long as my path, I'm focused and I'm going to use that time to focus on my path. Second, I'm going to be ignited. I'm going to ignite myself to continue to move forward. I'm not going to stop. So I'm going to constantly motivate myself. I'm constantly going to energize myself. I'm constantly going to focus and master what I want to do to continue to progress forward. And some of that is knowing yourself very well. You got to know what distracts you. You got to know what does not push you forward. You got to know what you need to separate. You got to know yourself. This is a time to reflect on yourself. And as I said, anybody, please check out the website, www.ignitingpathways.org. And if you need a coach or a life coach to help you, well, you check out that page and you let me know. But you have to know yourself and you have to know your weaknesses and your strength. That's the only way you're going to master the art of separation. Put those things to the test. See what is not leading you into your path. If it's not leading you to your vision, then you probably need to separate that. What does that look like? Well, if I'm going to try to set myself to talk to people, to enjoy talking to people, but I'm going to take a job in a cubicle, doesn't make no sense. I've isolated myself in 4 walls or 3 walls that I'm looking at with a computer, and I'm not going to get to talk to anyone. So probably I need to separate from going into cubicles. I need to enjoy and go out into the world and enjoy the beauty of people. I need to talk to as much people as I can to find out their like, their interest, and just to see what they're all about. That's why I stay on social media platforms, just to get to know people, just to talk to people, to see where they're at, also to see their dreams and their passion. Because honestly, I want to know. I want to know about you. I want to speak to you. I want you to take and learn what it's about living in life. I want you to enjoy that. I want you to enjoy life. And if you can't see why enjoying life is so great, well, that's when I say my famous line. Let's talk about it. And I know the beauty of kids, that's awesome. The beauty of a spouse, that's awesome. The beauty of friends and family, that's awesome. The beauty of things, that's a little possessional, but again, if that's you, awesome. But what about you that is awesome? What about you that just makes you brighten, that just brightens up your day or lights you up? What is it about you, as I talked before in the episode 1, I believe, or episode 2, when you look in the mirror, what brightens up your day about you? I'm not talking about what you can look at and looking for confirmation from people, but confirmation from yourself that tells you, hey, this is me. This is what I want to do. And this is what I enjoy about life. Again, for me, it's talking to people. The brightness in people's face when they are expressing who they are, and I get to see them on social media platforms and they're expressing who they are and they're showing that their creativity and discovering themselves, it's a beautiful thing. Even if you're seeing people and they're making videos and they're expressing themselves and they're matching music to it, that's your creativity. That's your beauty. Let it out, let it shine. But don't just stop there. Do something that you love. Continue to search further and looking at those things that you love. But again, we can't do that if we're getting distracted by people talking about us or people looking at you and putting you down all the time. Separate those noise. Separate those talks. Know how to but know how to separate yourself from that type of crowd. And when I say that type of crowd, I mean, you know, the people that's just going to talk about. They do it so often that you know that they're just going to put you down or say the things that's just going to bother you. So you need to separate yourself from them. Don't go to where they are. And that's what separation means. If you're on your path and you're focused on your path, well, then I'm going to separate myself and I'm going to be here and I'm not going to be there. See, this is away from me. I'm separating myself from that. And sometimes that's what we need to do. That's the thing that we need to get away from. And that's how you master the art of separation. You got to know yourself well, and you got to be able to really, really put yourself in a position to progress.
Hi, Drew.